Once upon a time, there was a woman named Sarah. Sarah had been married for 12 years and had 2 children with her husband, Mike. They were a happy family, or so Sarah thought. However, as the years went by, Sarah began to feel increasingly disconnected from Mike. They no longer talked as much as they used to, and their conversations became superficial and routine. Sarah tried to bring up the issue with Mike several times, but he would brush it off or become defensive. One day, Sarah decided that she couldn't continue living this way. She knew that it was time to face the truth and confront the issues in her marriage. After weeks of contemplation, she finally mustered the courage to sit down with Mike and tell him that she wanted a divorce. Mike was shocked and hurt, but he knew that Sarah had been unhappy for a while. The next few months were tumultuous for Sarah. She had to come to terms with the end of her marriage, while also trying to maintain a sense of normalcy for her children. The divorce process was also emotionally and financially draining, and Sarah often found herself feeling overwhelmed and alone. Despite the difficulties, Sarah was determined to move forward and rebuild her life. She started going to therapy, which helped her process her emotions and gain clarity about her priorities. She also reconnected with old friends and started to pursue her passions, which she had neglected during her marriage. However, the road to recovery was not without setbacks. Sarah often struggled with feelings of guilt and self-doubt. She questioned whether she had made the right decision by getting a divorce and worried about the impact it would have on her children. But as time went by, Sarah realized that she had made the right choice. She knew that she deserved to be happy and fulfilled, and that staying in an unhappy marriage would have been detrimental to her mental health and well-being. As Sarah began to rebuild her life, she also started to date again. At first, she was hesitant and cautious, but eventually, she met someone who made her feel alive and appreciated. His name was David, and he was kind, intelligent, and supportive. Sarah was initially hesitant to let him into her life, but as they spent more time together, she realized that he was exactly what she had been looking for. The relationship with David was not without its challenges, however. Sarah was still dealing with the aftermath of her divorce and was hesitant to open herself up completely to someone new. David was patient and understanding, though, and he never pressured her into anything she wasn't ready for. They took things slow and steady, and eventually, Sarah found herself falling in love with him. Sarah's children were also adjusting to the new reality of their family. At first, they were confused and hurt, but Sarah made sure to communicate with them openly and honestly. She reassured them that she and Mike would always be there for them, no matter what. Over time, the children began to accept the divorce and even started to develop a relationship with David. Years went by, and Sarah's life had changed in so many ways. She had a fulfilling career, a loving partner, and 2 wonderful children who were thriving. The divorce had been a difficult and painful experience, but it had also been a catalyst for growth and self-discovery. Sarah had learned to trust herself and her instincts, and she had come to understand that her happiness and well-being were worth fighting for. As Sarah looked back on her journey, she realized that the divorce had been a necessary step in her personal evolution. It had allowed her to shed old patterns and beliefs that were no longer serving her, and it had opened up a new world of possibilities. She was grateful for the pain and the struggle.